Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between 120 and FoCuS. This game taking place here on Echo Isle. 120 spawning as the red undead on the top right hand side of the map, going up against FoCuS, who has spawned as the blue orc. This is from Douyu Cup, and well, if you guys saw game number 1 in this series, an absolute gem of a game, a back and forth WarCraft 3 being played at one of the highest levels, absolutely entertaining. Definitely remember to check it out. Don't and watch the games in order, as I may reference that game in just a little bit. Now, I wish I spent that money on Bitcoin too. Yeah. I remember, I think I remember Artosis in one of his videos saying how to set up a Bitcoin wallet and all that back in 2010, 2011, and like how it wasn't that difficult. And I was like, I don't know. And then I remember when Bitcoin, reading articles about Bitcoin and actually reaching parity, where one Bitcoin was $1, and I'm just like, oh, good for Bitcoin. It's not worth a fraction of a penny anymore. And now, yeah, things could be different. But then again, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Don't live in the past. That is still a lesson that I am trying to learn. Where you think that your decisions in the past, if you had made better ones, could make you happier. You know what? That is always going to be true. You're always going to have regrets, things you wish you did, things you wish you didn't do. But you can actually be frozen by opportunities missed and poor decisions that you've made. And well, you got to live in the present. The gifted subs actually come from Bitcoin. This gifted sub actually come from Bitcoin. Oh, okay. I will feel as though I have a bit of I feel some Bitcoin love then. Thank you, Panda. All right, Farseer going after the Ogre Warrior creep camp here. Gonna be able to clear up this 3-3-3 creep camp, and this is on Echo Isle, not Echo Isle version 2. Still, actually, just Echo Isle. All right, Force Troll Trapper gonna get cleaned up here in just a moment. There goes another as well, as Force Troll Trappers will get finished up. Meanwhile, back on the other side here, Crypt Fiend looking to pull back and go after this Ogre Warrior creep camp. Death Knight is out onto the battlefield, and well, a little bit delayed. They're selling the Scroll of Town Portal. Normally, I see the selling of the Scroll of Town Portal when it is going to be some sort of expansion play. This was a delayed Death Knight into Crypt Fiends, and now selling the Scroll of Town Portal to try and perhaps get a fast tech to tier 2. And we are getting up a 6th Necropolis. Thank you for the follow, as the Death Knight now going after those Crypt Fiends, or trying to save those Crypt Fiends there, as the Wolves are just getting taken down. All right, FoCuS this time around is changing things up, trying to be much more aggressive, but he sees that 120, well, at this 3-minute mark, already has 3 Crypt Fiends out on the battlefield and will have to retreat, knowing that he's not going to be able to rack up that much damage. All right, selling that Scroll of Town Portal helped him train an additional 3rd and now 4th Crypt Fiend, as we should be looking at a tech to tier 2 here in just a moment. Farseer here looking to get to level 2 does pick up Gloves of Haste from that earlier creep camp, as the Death Knight is down to the south here. Does he have an Acolyte? Yes, he does have an Acolyte, and he may try and start setting up an expansion here on Echo Isle. All right, this is not the type of play I would have expected coming in from 120 at all. He is not teching the tier 2. Selling the Scroll of Town Portal does make sense, as he is trying to set up an expansion and perhaps turn that into a Nerubian Tower. FoCuS is now going to punish this as quickly as he can, as the Nerubian Tower is still not online. Tech to tier 2, nearly 75% of the way done, as the Acolytes are getting finished off. Hey, Burrow Rush, how you doing? Headhunters now making their way back, as well as the Death Knight with double rings of protection does not have to worry about too much poke damage from that Farseer, as he's already has access to Blight. He's playing a little bit more defensively and already has access to Unholy Aura. A very different opening this time around than in game number 1. Nerubian Tower should be trained up here in just a moment. You don't want that expansion to be pressured or that haunted gold mine to be pressured too easily. However, the headhunters could be making their way down to the south and, well, trying to poke this gold mine before any gold can be extracted from it. Death Knight is still sitting at level 2 here, trying to finish off more of those Null Poachers, and exactly what we thought FoCuS is going to be making his pressure into play here, and the Nerubian Tower is just now 40% of the way done. Farseer is right here, and it looks as though the Haunted Gold Mine will be forced to be cancelled. Acolyte may also get taken down, gonna go back the other way, trying to buy the time. However, the Acolyte does get finished off here, and the Haunted Gold Mine will simply be cancelled, trying to get back some of that gold. Death Coil trying to finish off one of those headhunters. Headhunter goes down to 1 hit point. Natural regeneration for the win right there, being able to back away at the last possible moment as one headhunter didn't get the memo, and that's got to be just a very, very sad sight indeed. You are standing next to your friends, and that must be what the rapture will feel like. You see a Death Knight on his horse, right? A horseman coming, and you see a friend standing next to you just suddenly disappear. Headhunter going to be heading back home. Meanwhile, Death Knight going after the Murloc Tide Runners and all of the units back down to the south here. Meanwhile, Haunted Gold Mine once more being established, and now that the Nerubian Tower is up, it will be easier to establish. Meanwhile, Necropolis is still showing signs of Tier 1. We do not have, oh no, take it back, Shadowhunter is already out onto the battlefield, but we do not have a sign of a tech to Tier 2 yet. FoCuS also knows that he has a bit of time. He doesn't have to upgrade these burrows, as 120 will be playing a bit defensively, even though he does have a large amount of Crypt Fiends at this point in the stage in the game. He wants the investment of time on this Haunted Gold Mine to start paying off for itself, as more Acolytes are being trained up and will be rotated to the south. Surround onto the Farseer. Farseer does not have a Scroll of Town Portal. This could be very bad news, though. However, the Skeletal Minions is a squirrel. A squirrel gets in the way. The Crypt Fiend squirrel gets in the way. Farseer down to 21 hit points. Is it going to get taken down? Yes, it does. A squirrel, I thought that was a random critter. No, it was not. It was a Hex Crypt Fiend slowly walking over to try and block the path of the Farseer, and doing exactly that. Death Knight still has enough mana, should be able to get off some more Death Coils. Another round, there goes another Headhunter. Ensnare now going down. Are we going to see the save? Yes, we are. More saving, and more Lightning Shield now trying to be used, as the Headhunter says, you know what, thank you for the Lightning Shield. I just want to give you a hug, as the Headhunter now poking down that Crypt Fiend off to the north. Raider does get the final ensnare, does finish things off. Shadowhunter staying strongly at level 2, as the Death Knight now back on Blight, with the Nerubian Tower going to be holding on strong. Shadowhunter, Raider now making its way back off to the north. I never root for the orcs. I think I rarely root for undead, and so yeah, I don't know. This is rooting for both of these players here. 120 and FoCuS, both amazing players, playing extremely well. We are looking at an expansion that is going to get pressured and found out here. Death Knight should be able to shut this down without a problem, especially with the Crypt Fiends nearby. Meanwhile, the Shadowhunter trying to finish off the graveyard here, and the presence of 2 additional Raiders making all the difference with their siege damage on these buildings. Death Knight now making its way back across here, does spot the Orc Burrows. This could be a very big deal indeed. Are we going to see a level 2 Death Coil, or a Death Coil trying to finish off that Headhunter? Headhunter going to get taken down. No, Scroll of Town Portal is going to finish off that Headhunter. Yes, it does. Scroll of Town Portal coming back the other way, and now we're going to see some damage onto that Shadowhunter. No Lich out onto the battlefield as of yet, as the Necropolis is not yet done getting to Halls of the Dead. Units are still retreating back once more. We're seeing a graveyard being built down to the south, as a second Spirit Tower, and perhaps even, second Nerubian Tower, and maybe eventually a Spirit Tower could get added as well. Got really frustrated by Blade Master back in the day. Yep, I've gotten frustrated by the Blade Master back in the day. Not really. The Blade Master always seemed like it would be like in StarCraft, and the first unit I'm going to train is a Dark Templar. So yeah, Protoss wins. Anyways, coming back through, Tome of Agility should be picked up by the Shadow Hunter since it is his primary attribute. Death Knight now making its way back over. No one bothering to pick up the Tome amongst a massive fight as the Death Knight now is surrounded in a precarious spot. Is he going to be able to break free here? Raiders trying to make their way back out. Going to go ahead and get off a Death Coil, continuing the fight. However, the Dire Wolves spirits are able to get in some big and land big critical strikes onto the Crypt Fiends as the Death Knight is trying to shake free of this position. Ensnare now going down. 120 could be in a tough spot once more, and we're looking at the Death Knight unable to save any of those Crypt Fiends as turning back around would just cause near certain death, and the Death Knight does fall at level 4. FoCuS taking a big advantage this time around, finishing off more units. Healing Wave now bouncing around as well as the Farseer and Shadow Hunter cleaning up the remainder of this undead army here. Ensnare doing wonders, finishing off ghouls wherever they can. Healing Wave keeping the units alive. Are we going to see another Ensnare there? Should be looking at another Ensnare. Come on, there goes the Ensnare. Not the Dynamite, the Ensnare, as skeletal minions are also getting cleaned up once more. Wow, Undead, no second hero yet. No, Undead, no second hero. We are at the 10-minute mark of this game. He does have an expansion already up, and the tech to tier 2 is finally done. Lich now out here on the battlefield as a crypt now being added in once more. Lich does not have that much here, trying to fight by his lonesome self, but does have a Nerubian Tower and Halls of the Dead. Death Knight coming in from the south here should be getting in a 400 hit point Death Coil in just a moment as the Crypt is now taken down. And the Raiders are just dealing massive damage to the undead buildings. Not something I would have expected earlier on. Shadow Hunter gets taken down. Lich could be in trouble. Lich does get taken down as well. So trading of a level 3 Shadow Hunter for a level 1 Lich. Good trade there, as the Death Knight could be in trouble once more. Does have a Potion of Healing. He didn't give the Potion of Healing to that Lich, surprisingly, as the Frost Nova could have made a very big deal once more. Alright, multiple Ensnares going down. Death Knight unable to save that Crypt Fiend. Not enough mana, as it doesn't have Obsidian statues as of yet. Raiders are trying to finish off all of these skeletal minions. 28 supply compared to 40. FoCuS with a major advantage in terms of supply. 20 supply army going up against 30, a 10 supply or 12 supply army difference. But now the Death Knight gets up to level 5. Very fast level 5 Death Knight. Level 3 Death Coil, 600 hit point heals could make big differences as well, as we're looking at the Death Knight now trying to retreat back once more. Lich back out onto the battlefield here, doesn't have enough mana, going to turn back around. A little bit of range attack as the Death Knight down to 278 hit points. He's going to be able to get back on the Blight, heal up a little bit faster, as the Dire Wolves are not going to be able to catch up to the Death Knight nearly as quickly, as there are those cold attacks slowing down those units. Spirit Tower may have finished off that last unit there. Lich, finishing off some of these other units once more, as the Lich now trying to make its way back out onto the battlefield. Farseer spreading across, healing across multiple units. You can see these 3 Raiders, or 2 of the 3 Raiders, extremely low on hit points within Death Coil Frost Nova range. Has to be careful here. Meanwhile, aggroing the creeps to get them to engage against the undead army. Big play there, but a Raider still gets taken down. Death Knight now trying to retreat back once more. Lich does have enough for a Frost Nova. Goes for a Frost Nova onto a unit, but is it going to be enough? Yes, Frost Nova plus a Death Coil equals experience for the Death Knight and the Lich as they're retreating back once again. Plu 172, Panda was giving out subs earlier, so yeah, a lot of subs given out. Thank you once again for all of that support once more. Lich now could be in trouble. Death Knight once again comes across, does have a Potion of Healing. Raiders are just corralling and playing defense on the Death Knight and on that Lich. Are we perhaps going to actually see them try to make a break for it? Not having Unholy or a level 2 could actually be a very big deal here, as the Death Knight not going to be able to transfer anything over. There's the Potion of Healing, but not going to be enough. Scroll of Town Portal transferred over to the Lich, and now the Death Knight could be in trouble. A Scroll of Town Portal, I believe, could have been transferred back over. No, not quite yet. Shadow Hunter was waiting to line up a Hex, a follow-up Hex, but Scroll of Town Portal saving that Death Knight there. Alright, Death Knight picking up the Scroll of Town Portal again. I believe the Lich actually transferred the Scroll of Town Portal back to the Death Knight in time for the Death Knight to use the Scroll of Town Portal and save himself a little bit of those micro decisions. Otherwise, this game could have already ended early. Crypt Fiends. What is happening next? Lich about to come back out onto the battlefield once more. We're looking at the ghouls just, well, getting masked up, as well as the liches back out onto the battlefield. Here we are, Wind Riders in play here, and we are now looking at the Spirit Tower acting as one of the main deterrences. Halls of the Dead not going to be able to attack back until it is done upgrading the Black Citadel. And over here on the bottom left-hand side, we can see that FoCuS does have the expansion on his own. All right. Coming back through, Wind Rider still here, Farseer, Shadowhunter sitting at level 3, Murloc's going to go ahead and continue to engage, Raider's going to continue to poke apart as the Murlocs are going to get taken down. Coming back through, double Nerubian Tower, no Spirit Tower here, so we could see some perhaps pressure coming in from those Wind Riders there as the Crypt Fiends need to get webbed to ensure that they're not going to, well, suffer too much damage and then perhaps try and shut down some of their attacks as well. Meanwhile, Lich is hoping to get to level 2 off of clearing off the Mercenary Creep Camp on the right-hand side of the map, but the Shadowhunter and the Farseer have plans of their own, trying to put pressure onto all of those units. All right, Crypt Fiends, well, still showing no upgrades whatsoever. 0-0 upgrades on both sides as FoCuS finally breaking the no upkeep limit and now starting to pay a bit of taxes. Acolyte scouting out this position here. Meanwhile, 120 does have a good amount of gold as we see the Raiders are attacking here. And with the amount of Raiders and hit and run tactics we've seen so far, I am surprised that FoCuS is, or there's, actually I was looking at 120s. I'll have to check if it looks as though, yeah, it looks as though there is pillage coming in from FoCuS for those hit and run tactics. Dire Wolves coming in here, Spirit Tower now getting upgraded as well. Acolytes are going to get taken down. More Acolytes need to be trained on up here. No Devour magic as of yet, as the delay to tier 3, and we are now just getting Destroyer form on those for those Obsidian statues. Coming back around, Clarity Potion dropped, well, perhaps should be used up here in just a second. Shadowhunter trying to get a little bit more. Tauren Chieftain, the third and final hero for the Orc, to join in on this pressure. Thank you now for the follows once again, as the Death Knight and the Lich hope to hold off these attacks. Coming back through, Wind Riders, Raiders, Farseer coming in for the engagement here. Units are trying to pull away to the left-hand side of the map, and still 120 is in a bit of trouble. He's finally trying to break into low upkeep, but he's going to find himself, well, 13 supply behind until FoCuS maxes out around the high 70s. It looks like FoCuS is just biding his time, taking this opportunity, using the Wind Riders to clear up the majority of these creep camps that are left on the battlefield. Will be able to get to level 5 on his Farseer, and then perhaps even get to level 4 on the Shadowhunter, and then finally level 2 on that Tauren Chieftain. Farseer looks to back away already. Gargantuan Sea Turtle is still left here as the Shadowhunter sitting at level 4. All right, Dark Ranger, the third and final hero for the Undead. Dark Ranger perhaps going to try and execute some silence as well, and make sure that the Tauren Chieftain isn't allowed to, well, stun and shift the game far too much early on. Shadow Wolves making their way inside of the expansion could disrupt a bit of mining as well, and that's exactly what's going to be happening as the Shadow Wolves dive on into this position, going after these Acolytes here. All right, Acolytes, so far no critical strikes as of yet. Acolytes trying to heal, trying to run around, and well, there's the critical strikes, and that damage does spike up rather fast. There goes 2 down to Acolytes, as we're seeing more Acolytes getting finished off here. Once more, 2 Acolytes going to be trying to be retrained. Crypt Fiends, Ghouls going to start swarming on the left-hand side here, as the army sizes are about the same, but that is also because, well, Ghouls are currently mining back at home. All right, more attack, more aggression, and it looks as though 120 does actually have a favorable position here in this fight, as the Orc Burrow now hiding a bunch of peons to try and engage back. All right, Farseer, Wind Rider is going to try and engage a little bit of slow from the earlier creep camps, as we see Scroll of Protection. Wind Riders, are those Envenom Spears? They may be Envenom Spears here. Chain Lightning, as the units are now trying to attack here. Yes, that is Envenom Spears, and that damage over time on those Envenom Spears does add up quickly. Lich going to try to continue to fight back here. Frost Nova onto those units. Wind Riders trying to web them down. 67 supply compared to 65. 120 actually making this a little bit closer, but now lost a large number of units as well. 63 compared to 66. Tauren Chieftain with the level 2 stomp, able to stun down some units as the Wind Riders are bit glass cannons, and they're taken down relatively fast. All right, Destroyers continue to go after more units. Devour Magic off of those Wolves may be necessary to try and get a little bit more hit points as Crypt Fiends are falling. 60 supply compared to 55, as we are going to see another Wind Rider getting taken down as well. Both sides suffering heavy casualties. Big stun coming across as the Tauren Chieftain takes down a Crypt Fiend and a handful of ghouls as well. Tauren Chieftain could be in trouble, though. Going to be forced to retreat back here as the Lich could land some Frost Novas, try to burst down some damage, but it does have a Ring of Regeneration to try and regenerate those hit points. All right, continuing the fight back and forth. Death Knight now trying to make its way back down. Lich, Destroyers at 120, still trying to pressure in his opponent's position. Continuing to put in that pressure. Shadow Wolves trying to finish off more Crypt Fiends, able to easily find their targets as the Destroyer could get taken down here. Destroyer does get taken down and no Death Coil to try and save, and that would have been a big difference as the Obsidian, as the Shadow Wolves could have been devoured there. All right, more Devour Magic is going to be needed, down to 74 hit points. Death Coil coming in for the save. However, the Wolves are back in play once more with that big damage. Are we going to see some Devour Magic? Yes, we are. On the Death Knight from the Devour Magic off of the Wolves as the Destroyer gets a big heal in time. All right, level 2 Unholy Aura. Units trying to still move around really quickly. 59 supply compared to 59, and this battle is still raging on as the Crypt Fiends and low hit point units are trying to back away. Wind Riders, very much glass cannons, dealing big damage, but then also getting finished off fairly fast, as well as burrowed Crypt Fiends are just trying to hide in the dirt and stay alive. You can see that they're getting healed, but that Envenom Spear is constantly keeping them at 2 hit points. And this is one of those situations where Acid Bomb may have been the proper move there, as a Crypt Fiend sticks his head out of the sand just in time for a Scroll of Town portal to take him back home. Spear Venom is kind of insane, 25 seconds, and I believe it stacks if the spears come from different Wind Riders. Coming back through, Death Knight is at 6, Lich is at 4, Dark Ranger is at 3. It felt like throughout much of this game, FoCuS had the major advantage, but I do not know if that is the case anymore. Meanwhile, the expansions and the time mining may be the difference here. 120 has 97 seconds of mining left at his main base and only about 7 minutes of mining at the expansion. Meanwhile, there is more than 12 minutes of mining here at the expansion of FoCuS. That is going to be the big deal. If 120 can halt the mining at the expansion and then carry on the rest of the way, that is going to be the difference as the battle going to rage on here. All right, Devour Magic opening up, trying to take down some of those wolves already. There is the big damage as the Death Knight takes a big stun. A couple of quick webs down here and 3 quick webbed Wind Riders going to get finished off. Crypt Fiends, however, there's just simply not that many as the Destroyers are trying to finish off some of those units and finishing off those Wind Riders. There's some more web as well, trying to create a little bit of separation, but the Tauren Chieftain is making short work of those Crypt Fiends as they are trying to web down targets. 47 supply compared to 59. 120 now with a major advantage. 12 supply lead. Continue to try to focus down some of those units as we're seeing another Lich or another bit of damage. All right, Lich gets a bit of save right there. Does have a scroll of healing. He's trying to retreat away. Does get the Death Coil and the save once more. Obsidian Statue is keeping everyone topped off on mana as the Shadow Hunter now gets up to level 5. Shadow Hunter trying to reposition itself, trying to chase after and heal some itself and the Kodo Beast. Unable to get the lucky bounce though as the units are still trying to retreat back. Death Knight still wandering back around here. Obsidian Statue not close enough to the Death Knight to give a little bit of mana and then finish off some of these Kodo Beasts in the backside there. Just going to do it the old-fashioned way with a bit of damage as we're now getting some Dark Minions back out onto the battlefield. Burrow back onto the Crypt Fiend. You can see the Crypt Fiends taking in some big damage, but Dust of Appearance quickly revealing those units there as the Destroyers taking so much damage over time with those Envenom Spheres as they're trying to retreat back. All right, Obsidian Statues, Crypt Fiends still trying to retreat. 55 supply compared to 39. If you're retreating, you are taking damage, and if you're taking damage, you are losing. Often is the case in WarCraft 3 as the Destroyer comes back around. All right, Dark Ranger going to be in a little bit of trouble. Devour Magic trying to save the Dark Ranger, no longer turned in or no longer hexed as the units are retreating back once more. Lich could be in a little bit of trouble here. And now FoCuS, even though he has the smaller army, able to deal a lot of damage against these units as we are now looking at another burrowed Crypt Fiend. We could see a stomp. No stomp, not enough mana. Shadow Hunter may try and come with a quick hex again as we are looking at a quick burrow into the sand. All right, Dust of Appearance heading over to the shop. Dust of Appearance will be purchased by the Shadow Hunter, picking up a potion of lesser invulnerability as well. However, nope, units are coming back over to try and get the save. Death Coil and a healing wave right there, saving that Tauren Chieftain. Ring of Regeneration in these long drawn out games, representing large amounts of hit points being recovered on that Tauren Chieftain. Level 6 Death Knight making its presence known. Acolytes now transitioning over. Main gold mines are now all mined out on both sides. 60 over 80 supply compared to 47 over 92. FoCuS benefiting from not being in low upkeep, but will he be able to hold on to this expansion here? Death Knight now trying to come in with the pressure. Dark Ranger hoping to get more black arrows and more skeletal minions back out onto the battlefield, and then perhaps get them into Death Pack or Dark Ritual for that Lich, now that it is at level 4. Turning back around, in comes the Wind Riders, in comes some poke damage, in comes some Web trying to finish things off. Big damage indeed. Crypt Fiends, however, trying to focus them down. Tauren Chieftain is silenced. No stomp as of yet. Beautifully timed as the Crypt Fiends are now trying to retreat back, but he's going to come in with a big stomp now, stunning down 4 Crypt Fiends in a matter of seconds. All right, Death Coil saves one. I believe it saved one Crypt Fiend, as the Wind Riders are now trying to back up once again. Burrowed Crypt Fiend trying to stick its head in the sand. You can see its damage just ticking away so quickly, down to 2 hit points as it was focused down right there. Wind Rider Poison adding in so much damage to those Crypt Fiends. Dust of Appearance with the follow-up as the units are still trying to fight their way through. All right, Wind Rider damage, hit and run tactics with Wind Riders and those Raiders. Are we seeing a new meta change as the Wind Riders are able to just deal so much damage to those units with these hit and run tactics and just slowly chip away at all of these units here? Yes, they are a very, very expensive unit, and the supply does go around rather quickly. Tauren Chieftain in a little bit of trouble. Potion of Invulnerability being used as he's going to be able to heal up a little bit more. Shadow Hunter low on mana again as the Destroyer is continuing to fight. Death Knight now trying to make its way back off to the north. Dark Ranger able to back away, or sorry, Farseer able to back away as a Wind Rider gets taken down. No level ups though. Lich getting very close to level 5. This could change things dramatically. If the Lich gets to level 5, level 3 Frost Nova will be on the table, and level 3 Frost Nova coupled with the Dark Ranger and all of these Dark Ritual targets could mean extra mana indeed. Units are trying to back away. 120 continuing to put down the pressure here. Meanwhile, the Farseer trying to come in with Scroll of Speed to perhaps try and pick off some of these targets. There's a quick hex onto one Crypt Fiend there. That's going to get taken down as the Destroyers are trying to go after some more units. All right, big save right there. That Farseer nearly bursted down in a quick moment. If the Lich was at level 5, I believe that would have been a near certain death right there, as the Lich now at level 5 with level 3 Frost Nova. Is it going to matter that much? Death Knight continuing to fight back around. Lich doesn't have that much mana, trying to turn things back around. Farseer gets up to level 6. Level 3 Chain Lightning could be on the table, and that could change things around as it could finish off any of those Crypt Fiends. Farseer falls at level 6, and now the Death Knight is sitting at level 7, still fighting in this massive battle in the middle portion of the map as the Lich trying to finish off some of those Wind Riders, and I believe this is going to be the game here. Farseer falls at level 6. Death Knight now trying to retreat back. Is the Death Knight going to be in trouble? Has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Are we going to see a Hex go down as it's still trying to run around next to all of these Obsidian statues? It also has Death Pack. There's the Death Coil, but not in time as the Shadow Hunter uses a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Death Knight still running around in a circle here, trying to keep a little bit of distance. Wind Riders, a little bit of damage, poison damage over time as the Tauren Chieftain now looks to back away. Death Knight slowly regenerating hit points and mana, but I think that is going to be it. FoCuS not going to be able to close things out here as we're looking at the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain, Death Knight could be in trouble, down to 173 hit points. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability unable to be used. Tauren Chieftain sitting at Tauren Chieftain does fall. Death Knight now down to 110 hit points as the Shadow Hunter finally going to get taken down. And 120 with the win right there. A beautiful, beautiful matchup, and playing on a razor's edge. It felt like FoCuS had the lead throughout the game, and really 120 outlasting his opponent in a marathon match. The Wind Rider Envenom Spears dealing so much damage in and out of combat, where the Wind Riders were able to poke down a unit and then just simply wait a split second and then finish it off. And one thing to add, Chain Lightning works extremely well with those Envenom Spears, as it can randomly bounce onto a target to finish off a unit that is low on hit points. A great, great, crazy game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys I hope you guys stick around.